Finally, some details regarding Wesley Bryan's suspension from no other than the man himself. Good afternoon. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome back to the Scratch Golf Show. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Marco and I'm your host. Here on the Scratch Golf Show, we talk about all things golf, YouTube, and professional. And today I have my biggest interview to date. We talk about Wesley's suspension. He gets into everything. Talk about Grant Horvat's decision to not play in a PGA Tour event. Phil Mickelson, Tacoma, Live Duels. Like I said, my biggest interview to date. I apologize if the editing quality isn't as great. Really wanted to get this video out to you guys. So do me a favor and smash that subscribe button below. I'm trying to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of August. I can only do that with your help. So smash that subscribe button, smash the like button, and leave a comment if you enjoy this type of content. Without further ado, let's hear from the man himself, Wesley Bryan. Wesley Bryan, how we doing, man? How's life?
Oh, living the dream. Sorry if you hear any background noise. Got three girls that are alive and well, and been a little rowdy this morning. So
all good. We appreciate you jumping on this morning. So I wanna start with this. You got suspended. How's that been? How's life been the last few months since the suspension with the PGA Tour?
well, I'll be honest. I thought that there was part of me that thought maybe life would slow down a little bit because last year I ran myself really thin. Had a full docket of filming YouTube videos, not just for our platform, but for a lot of different platforms. Had a heavier load than normal of brand and sponsorship days and stuff that we had to do. And we ramped up the social stuff a little bit more than we have in years past. And then I played a full schedule on top of it. And so when I look back at what last year looked like, it was pretty wild. I felt like I ran myself pretty thin. And when I got suspended, I was like, oh, great, this is going to be, I'm not going to know what to do with all my time off. And it turns out, I don't even know over the last few months how I would have even played golf tournaments or thrown them into the schedule that we've had. And it's been great. We've been on a really nice run on YouTube. We've had a lot of really cool, fun opportunities that have come up since. I was a little bit worried. We talked to all the brands that we work with leading up to the suspension or whatever, and I was a little bit worried about how those relationships would look because I was the only guy that was kind of doing full-time content as well as playing full-time, and when one of those gets ripped away, my other full-time job, I was a little bit worried, but everybody, the support online, the support from all of our partners has been incredible. And it's been, I'll be honest, we've really been enjoying our time away from the tour.
Yeah, I feel that. Not to mention, you just talked about you got three girls at home, and on top of all the traveling, playing a full schedule, doing all that. You're still being a dad and spending time with your family, your wife. And I know you're very family oriented. Which I'm curious from the details of the suspension. I guess can you get into? There's been some speculation as to you knew that was coming. You've done some calculated stuff like different things. I guess can you get into more of the details of everything? Because I know that's what a lot of people are curious about.
Yeah, I mean, I can get into some, I mean, not all the details. There's some stuff that, I mean, I wouldn't want some of the repercussions of things that I could say publicly, but I knew that it was a possibility. I absolutely knew it was a possibility, and it was not the first time that I had been threatened with repercussions of stuff content related or other things that I've done. So it was the first time that they followed through, and during the whole process, they basically treated it as a live event. Which my whole argument was, I get how the problem when I was looking at the rules and regulations, and I found a lot of people online, mostly on Twitter, that are very well versed, undoubtedly more versed than I am in the PGA Tour rules and regulations, and I found a lot of what I thought were like problems in the way it was worded, and how I didn't feel like what I was doing actually was breaking the rules. I knew from the conversations that I had that I was told that I was going to be in clear violation if I did the duels. But the way I was reading it and looking over it, I was like, there's no way. There's no way if it goes to an appeals committee that somebody that's looking at it non-biasedly could read those rules and regulations and draw the conclusion that the commissioner and his people drew. Turns out I was wrong, and so yeah, it undoubtedly they saw a 9-hole scramble with my buddies, uh, and I know part of it they were like, you're playing for a significant purse or whatever, which I get that. I've just never been a part. I've played professional golf for a lot of years, and I've never seen a professional golf event where the professional golfers aren't eligible for the purse. I've just never seen it in my life. Maybe it exists out there somewhere. And then as far as it being classified as an event, I've also never seen a 9-hole scramble be classified as an event or something that would be similar to a 72-hole stroke play tournament. So those were kind of the things that I was looking at. It turns out I was wrong. I've been wrong a lot, and I'll continue to be wrong on a lot of things. But again, when it comes to supporting my buds and doing what I love to do, that's what I'm going to do. And I felt like the decision that I made, although it was undoubtedly a poor one for my career on the PGA Tour, I feel like it's overall been a win for the game of golf. It's been a win for the YouTube golf community, this dual series that we're doing. And honestly, I'm pretty passionate about it at this point. So I love what's being built over there. I love the buy-in from all the people that are out watching and supporting it. The comments and for the most part have been unbelievably positive. The response in the golf world, especially from all the people that we work with, that are funneling a lot of dollars into the game of golf and helping support and grow the game that we love. There's been a lot of support from them as well. So overall, I've seen it as a win.
Are you at peace with the fact that you may, and I don't know, you probably know this more than me, but are you at peace with the fact that you may never play a PGA Tour event again?
When I made the decision, based on the conversations that I had leading up to it, and a lot of people are calling me an idiot for knowing or complaining about the repercussions of a decision that I knew what the repercussions would or could have been, and that's all fair. I've been called an idiot plenty of times before, and I know it's more than likely the case. But when I made the decision, I had to be at peace with that. I was at peace with it 3 years ago. If I never played a PGA Tour event again, when we came back into the YouTube stuff, I felt like my passion and my impact on the game of golf is probably going to be more substantial on YouTube than it is on the PGA Tour, unless I were to go reel off a bunch of wins and majors and all that stuff, which realistically speaking, you watch enough of the content, everybody else watches enough of the content. It's probably not in the deck of cards for me to go on some generational run in professional golf, but not saying that it couldn't happen, but I'm definitely at peace with it. And then even last week, or a week and a half ago now, got done playing over there on the DP World Tour in Germany, and that experience was unbelievable. Like if that's my outlet to occasionally play professional golf, I feel like that's like a bonus, an absolute win.
Yeah, and I know that because when we first got introduced in Detroit last year, you had mentioned that to me, last year, that you had said if you never teed up in the PGA Tour again, that you're okay with it because of how much fun you were having in YouTube golf. So I knew that, but I just wanted to clarify it for the Twitter people who seem to call you an idiot and understand that you're okay with the fact that you may never play the PGA Tour event. And I completely understand because I think we both see the future in YouTube golf and how much fun it is, how much fun you have doing it, how much fun I have doing my own stuff, fulfilling that, personal goal, whatever it is. Last question about this, just around your mindset, because I know in your video that you put out a few months ago now in April, talking about the suspension, you kind of talked about your mindset a little bit. I just want to hear a little bit about kind of how your mindset's been dealing with the suspension. And I know people have said like, oh, they don't really feel bad for you because you knew it was going to happen. I just talk a little bit about your mindset and mentally how you're feeling after just kind of going through the whole situation of the suspension and losing your PGA Tour card essentially.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've lost my tour card plenty of times. I've lost it now probably 7 or 8 different occasions. I've lost it based on performance, and that's what helped me make the decision. And when I look back at it, the fact that the talent that I was dealt and the ability that I was given, the fact that I turned it into the PGA Tour career that I turned it into, I feel like is a modern day miracle and definitely not talked about enough. But my mindset since being suspended, one, I'm just I guess I'm hurt a little bit by. Uh, I think the PGA Tour has so much potential. It's the tour that everybody growing up playing the game of golf that wanted to chase it professionally or do it for a living. Like that was the only outlet, and I still think it's the most viable outlet for people that grow up wanting to play and wanting to have success at the professional level. And they do so much good. They have awesome events. They got a lot of really great people in a lot of great cities. The travel, the lifestyle that it afforded my family and I for a lot of years was great. So I'm sad that not going to be able to do that. But again, moving forward, I just feel like it's the next chapter where we're at right now. It's not saying that I don't have any desires to play professional golf because I still do. It's what I've always done. I love to compete, but I would say mostly just kind of sad the way everything unraveled and the I don't know, kind of the mentality that the PGA Tour has had behind it through. I mean, we've had hundreds of hours of conversations with the tour on how to merge audiences or change and grow and redefine how golf is consumed. And it just felt like the part that's disappointing the most is all the hours that we spent that just feel like they were wasted. And again, I I still I still am hopeful that the PGA Tour is going to turn the corner, and I think that there is a path forward where we can all cohesively work together to grow and support the game we love. And again, just a little bit hurt by it all.
I feel that, man. And I think, this is me saying it, not Wesley, but the PGA Tour absolutely sucks at doing content. They're stale, they're stagnant. I love the PGA Tour. I regularly watch the PGA Tour over live. No hiding that, but I think the PGA Tour gets stuck in its own way. And there's no prime example of that more than what happened yesterday on Twitter, which we'll get into in a minute. I'm just curious because you brought it up. Is there a return to professional golf anymore? Are you planning on playing any more DP World Tour events, maybe some live events if you want to, break some news or whatever? But
Yeah,
what's that look like?
that, definitely, definitely not into to breaking any news. I mean, there's obviously conversations amongst us about what playing is going to look like moving forward, and I think that we're definitely going to have more opportunities on the DP World Tour. They were so awesome to work with, and BMW rolled out the red carpet for us, and that was really really cool to be a part of. I think that there's going to be more opportunities on that front. I think that there can be opportunities from you've seen Luke Kwan do the international series in Taco. There's obviously going to be opportunities to to go that route if we want, but again, it's who knows. It could change. It could change tomorrow. I feel like my life changes by the day anyway, and I'm just going to keep all the options open. And again, on the live front, I every decision that we make, I'm making it with our YouTube channel in mind first. And so, whatever is going to be able to provide us the opportunity to make the best content. I've People are pretty aware that I read pretty much all the comments, go through thousands of them. I feel like a day, and I can get a general feel of what people want to see, what they like to see, what they don't like to see, and so yeah, it's going to be our YouTube channel first and foremost, and what's going to give us the best opportunity to make content.
But man, speaking of that, if you are watching this on YouTube and are somehow not subscribed to the Bryan Bros Golf, Bryan Bros TV, we will link all that stuff in the description. Drop the boys a sub. Road to a milli on Bryan Bros. Road to 100K on Bryan Bros TV. Let's talk about the Golden Boy, one of your best friends. You've done the major cut with him, Mr. Grant Horvat, who made some pretty big headlines yesterday for not playing in the Barracuda Championship. I know you were on Twitter most of the day yesterday. I was on Twitter most of the day yesterday. Twitter's a wild place, man. I guess just share your thoughts. I'll just leave it pretty open ended. You can share whatever you want. I get some more specifics, but I'll just hear your thoughts first on the whole situation and Grant. Grant as a whole. I mean, what he's done for everything. So
Yeah, well, I mentioned earlier there's people on Twitter that undoubtedly know the rules and regulations better than I do. But when it comes to filming content. The only request that was made was that Grant Horvat be able to capture content like the rest of the PGA Tour members. And I understand he's not a PGA Tour member. He's done nothing to earn that right, but it would have been very easy to push it through. Hey, we're going to let you follow the guidelines that we allow all of our other PGA Tour players to follow content-wise. But they made the decision to not let him film any of it, which I was disappointed in that. I feel like just as a casual golf fan, everybody would want to see how he stacks up against some of the best players in the world. And he made his decision not to do it because he can't film it. And again, when people start going after my guys, I feel like I feel like I gotta chime in and give my opinion. And again, it's going to rub some people the wrong way. I understand that wholeheartedly. But yeah, if you come after one of my guys, then I'm gonna retaliate. And most of the trouble that I get in on these platforms and comment section is because people give their unsolicited opinion and it be very negative for no reason. It's not like I'm just throwing out something to throw somebody under the bus just to get clicks and likes and get myself into an algorithm. I just respond to other people's mean, hateful things. And yeah, I go over the top. I've had to apologize on many platforms to many people. And I'm going to continue to do that more than likely. Hopefully one day I'll mature and change a little bit, but we're still working through some things. But you come after Grant Horvat, you come after George, you come after our production guys, Carney, Cam, Sky, you come after any of our buds, I'm going to try and bury you on the internet. That's kind of my goal.
I love it, man. Me too. First of all, shout out Carney, Cam, Sky, the unedited heroes. I know I follow Cam and Carney on Twitter, and I know they've done so much work with the Germany and getting those videos turned around the major cut. So shout out to those boys. I love all those guys. They deserve much more praise than they get because I feel like they're the real stir that stirs the drink. But no, I agree with you. First off and foremost, people on Twitter love to give their unsolicited advice, unsolicited opinions, even though they're not qualified to do so because that's Twitter. But um, I I just feel like people are trying to treat Grant like a PGA Tour player, and like you said, he's not. He's like I saw on Twitter, he's got a camera crew. It's like it's Sky, it's one person, and there was just a lot of people who are giving really bad and uneducated takes on everything. But I feel like good for him. Like I think, and Nate does a good job talking about this. Grant doesn't need the PGA Tour, and I feel like a lot of people who watch the PGA Tour maybe don't realize that. Like, yes, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, but when you put him between his dream and his brand, he's going to choose his brand because I mean it's the CUDA. I mean, no, I love the CUDA. I'm sure you love the CUDA too. Ryan French loves
Oh,
the CUDA.
it's the
One of
place
the best
is
events,
euphoric.
but it's not like it's the Masters. Like it's one of the worst events on the schedule for non-sickos. And for him to not play in it because he doesn't want to. He's hiding from a score. I just saw some very bad takes yesterday, and it just none of it made sense from people who don't know what the hell they're talking about. And I think
Well,
you did a good job hitting on.
Grant doesn't want to play professional golf. Grant
Exactly.
doesn't want to play competitive golf. Grant wants to play golf with his buddy. Just the decision that I made. The decision I made was I just wanted to play golf with my buddies. I want to play where I want, when I want, with who I want, and I want to do what I love. Grant does not have a passion for competitive golf whatsoever. He has a passion for creating content. He understands, like, even though he does not want to play in a PGA Tour event, he doesn't like the way his body feels when a lot of people are watching in competition. He just does not like that feeling. And he doesn't want to play, but he understands that it's a good opportunity to create content. And so he's basically putting, hey, I don't like my body shutting down in front of a lot of people and feeling the nerves and the anxiety that comes along with competitive golf. But I'm going to put that aside because I know that that's something that my audience would want to see and be intrigued in seeing. So, yeah, first and foremost, the guy doesn't want to compete. Doesn't make him a bad person. Doesn't make him an uncompetitive person because he is very competitive. Like he wants to make cuts when we're out filming the major cut. Like he wants to win the 2v2 series he has with Phil. Like those are competitive tournaments for him. Like he wants to win those just as bad as I want to win on the PGA Tour. So he's a competitive person. He just doesn't like competitive, like sanctioned golf. So that's mainly the reason everyone that wanted him to go play just because they wanted to see. It doesn't matter if you can film it or not. No, his passion is creating content. ripped away the only reason he would want to do it. So he chose not to. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, I agree. And like I said, I think, people were like, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm like, this dude had just played Portrush the week before the Open. You want to talk about once in a lifetime opportunities? I'm a scratch. I'm a decent player. Like, I would much rather go play Portrush and probably get paid a decent amount to do so last week than go play the Cuda. Because I would rather play golf with my best friends and have a good time doing what I'm doing, fulfilling my dream as a content creator, than go play in a PGA Tour event just because a bunch of people want to see me shoot 80.
Do
Essentially,
you okay? You're a golf sicko. Would you rather go play in I'm not even going to name any names, but go play in the Barracuda in a threesome Thursday Friday? 99% chance you're going to miss the cut. Play with two guys you've never heard of, or go play in a 2v2 scramble with Phil Mickelson, and you're playing against John Rahm and Josh Allen, or John Daly and his son, or I mean the ones that they have, Bryson DeChambeau and Garrett Clark. Like, are you going to choose to go play in that essentially a 2-day event with a lot of travel, or go play with some of the icons in the game of golf?
yeah, and
It's a pretty easy
yeah,
decision.
exactly. No, and I just think there's a lot of people who don't get it. And not only that, I know Grant, like, people think he's fake, or like he props himself up because he's some like white rich kid. This is some stuff that I've seen. But like, I genuinely think he said he didn't want to take a spot away from somebody, but also he didn't want to be just like, people are saying he's going to be a huge distraction. He wanted this exclusive. Like, not only that, he doesn't want to take away from, because the guy, as you know, the guys playing in the Barracuda are guys who are fighting for their professional job, and there's nothing wrong with that. But like, maybe he could be a distraction. I'm sure if there was something that was going on, he would maybe feel bad if he maybe cost somebody a shot. Not saying he ever would, but that scenario is a possibility. And I just think, you know not only that, he's getting paid a lot to do the other thing. He has no guarantee of making the cut. Like you said, that's the only way he's going to make money, playing in the PGA Tour. But I just think it's pretty obvious when you lay it out like that, at least
Yeah,
for
I
me.
mean, I've been a distraction for years. I've been a walking 2-shot penalty for everybody I've played with that have had to watch my golf game for years. Like, I get it, and I don't think he cares about being a distraction. Is more of, he just wants to do what he
Yeah.
loves.
Let's talk about, speaking of major cut. Man, how was Ireland? I mean, you just posted those, and we won't spoil any of the results because I know we posted those Monday and Tuesday of this week. Both great videos. Highly recommend watching those. Like I said, go drop them a sub. How was that, dude? I mean, Portrush looked absolutely amazing. But how was Ireland, and getting to do that, and play that golf course the week leading into a major championship?
Yeah, it was awesome. So we go to Germany to play in the DP World event. I finish on Sunday. We fly Sunday night into Ireland, drive up to Northern Ireland. Monday morning, first off, we're playing at Royal County Down, and it just goes straight into Links Golf, number one golf course in the world, which was like a dream come true. And then we wake up the next morning and go out and play Portrush with the golf course completely closed down, 4 or 5 days before the pros are going to be on site getting ready for a major championship. I mean, they rolled out the red carpet for us. The huge shout out to the RNA for doing that. And I mean, we get to the 18th hole. They've got our names up on the leaderboard, as all the players are going to have. We had caddies that absolutely stole the show from our major cut. So if you haven't checked that out, we had local caddies that were absolutely top notch. And then we finish up and fly home, and then it's like back to reality. And it really was a dream come true. RNA also, they provided us, we show up and they're like, oh, we're doing a giveaway that y'all can do in y'all's videos. And I mean, for next year's Open, they're allowing us to somehow give away 2 hospitality tickets, travel vouchers, signed pin flag from this year's Open champion, like $500 shop credit. Like, they just absolutely blew it out of the park. So we really look forward to working with those guys in the years to come.
Love it, man. I mean, you're living out. I know we talked about this, and I don't know if you remember from when we talked in Detroit last year. I'm like, you're living out 99% of golfers' dreams, playing the best courses in the world, being paid to do so with your best friends, and putting it for everyone to see. And you're a really good golfer. I truly think It's unreal what YouTube golf has become. I don't, and I talk about this a lot, and I don't think people who maybe aren't as versed in YouTube realize that literally every major golf organization got involved in YouTube golf. You guys played 3 of the 4 major championship venues this year and still were involved in Augusta. I assume Augusta didn't want to get involved. That makes sense. Augusta's its own beast, but you played 3 of the 4 major championship venues this year leading up to majors. I just don't think people realize how big that is for YouTube golf, seeing these major organizations invest in you guys, invest in the future that a lot of people see. I just think it's unreal cool what you guys have been able to do. Congratulations on all the success. I'm looking forward to more. I think Pebble's next on the major cut.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Let's talk about Tacoma, man. You guys just dropped your own set of wedges. As we know, I'm a Tacoma brand ambassador. I guess I'm a sponsored athlete. I don't know if that technically makes you my boss, but I love them. I got my clubs about a month ago. I put them in play after one range bucket, and I love my old irons. But I have a full set of 301 CBs, 5 through 9. But I guess just talk to me about Tacoma, the impact you've had, and then obviously the line of wedges you guys just dropped and how cool that was.
Yeah, Tacoma a few years back, they reached out. They were, again, a direct-to-consumer. I've always been relatively skeptical on equipment. For a guy that I really haven't cared that much about equipment over my time, but I've turned into a little bit of a gearhead when it comes to equipment. And since becoming a free agent a few years ago, I tried out everything. I'm looking here in my office, Titleist irons, Strixon irons, Callaway irons. I've tried out pretty much everything. And so when Tacoma came to us with an opportunity, like, hey, try them out. Let me know what you think. We love the YouTube space. We love what you guys and all the content creators are doing. We're direct to consumer. Feel like we'd align well. I was like, send them over. I'll try them within, again, like you, one bucket, one session with the quad. Just gathering a lot of data and comparing, contrasting all the irons that I've played and looking at like really what I care most about is spin numbers consistency and dispersion of mishits. What happens to spin numbers on mishits, and then hitting it solid distance dispersion. And it's going to sound crazy, but my dispersion from solidly struck shots was less with the Tacoma than it was with my Callaways or at the time Strixons. And my spin numbers, they were gently lower spin, which I was fine with because I launch it pretty high with irons, but my spin numbers ticked down a couple hundred per club, and my mishits, instead of going up in spin a couple hundred RPMs, they actually went down a couple more hundred RPMs. And that was the first time that I was like, wow, that is, if I hit a ball just a little bit thin or a little bit off the heel, a little bit off the toe, instead of the spin numbers elevating, the ball getting more offline, spin numbers actually come down, which bring your dispersion left and right closer. I was like, it's a great iron. Instantly put them in play, and we've been working with them ever since. And for the last couple of years, we've been working on designing the wedges that just came out, the BB803s, and then the new one that they want, the new rendition of the Skyforger. So we helped mold and shape them, and changed up the groove pattern obviously a little bit. And I feel like they're a home run. And honestly, I've seen the comments. No, the BB803s are not in my bag as of when we filmed last week, because I didn't get the final version until I left to go to Germany. Essentially, I had no time to actually build them up right and put them in the bag. So, but I've been messing around with them this week. They're unbelievable. And we absolutely, for people watching this, we fumbled the bag hard on the launch of the BB803s, set to come out 6 p.m. on a, I don't know, Tuesday or whatever. We actually were filming the duels for Bryson's channel in Dallas the day before they're supposed to launch. And we're all ready. We got everything queued up. We're like, hey, they're going live in 30 minutes. Well, they don't go live. There was a malfunction. They ended up going live the next day, midday at lunchtime. And then we're literally about to tee off of the duels, and our wedges have sold out in 30 minutes. Pretty much everything was gone in 30 minutes, except for maybe like the 52 degree. And so the support for everybody watching these videos, the real sickos that watch your channel like myself, and the sickos that watch our channel, the support they showed through that was unbelievable. We are going to be restocking them. And so, yeah, appreciate everybody's support. And Marco, thanks for your support and your love for Takomo as well. But it is a great product. But the coolest part about all of it is it's literally half the price. So it's hard for you to go and tell somebody to go buy a $1,500 to $2,000 set of irons, but it's very easy to be like, hey, if you are looking at new irons, there's an option for half to a third of the price that perform just as good, if not better.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I really do love them. Like I'm not I'm not an equipment guy. Like I have gotten more into equipment now that technology has gotten better. Like I'm pretty, I got a full bag of stuff from like woods and stuff, but I played, I played Titleist T100Ss before I got my 301 CBs. And I loved them. Played them for 5 years. I will never get rid of them. And if these ever break, I'll go back to my Titleist because I love them that much. But I was a bit worried that I wasn't going to like them because I never hit them. And literally they sent them to me, everything. I got them regripped and everything, got the appropriate grips on them and hit them one time, literally put them in the bag the next day. I haven't lost. So as you know, equipment, T100Ss are 2 degrees strong. So I lost 2 degrees of loft on these, yet I actually have not lost any distance because I'm in the appropriate shaft combo. I'm in the 130 C Taper X. And, I love Takomo. Yes, I have a contract with you guys, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to put my name to something that I don't believe in. They are truly great clubs. I put the SF002 wedges in yesterday. I haven't hit them yet because I had to get some X Flex shafts in them, but I am very excited to see those. Congrats on the BBO 803s and all the success you guys have had with Takomo. You guys are truly changing the game, and you're breaking the internet basically with all these.
We're trying. The one thing that I was worried about was them being able to hold up. And I literally just put my second set in the bag like a few weeks ago. So my first set I rolled with for about 2 years, and they held up just like every other. I was maybe worried about them not being able to kind of weather the storm, hold up the test of time, quality products or whatever materials. But yeah, they held up great, and they've been an unbelievable partner.
Yeah, and when you were on the PGA Tour, you were one of the best iron players in the world, right? Wasn't that a fact? Inside
I
whatever the
mean, one
number
of the
was,
best, yeah. Gently
better than
better than
Scotty.
Scotty
Yeah,
Scheffler last
right.
year from the fairway. Just
Uh,
gently better. But
but I mean, I feel like that's pretty good advertising, right? I mean, the Scotty Scheffler's pretty good at golf. I think last time I checked, he's okay.
yeah, I mean, he hit more fairways and hit it a little
Yeah.
longer and wedged it and chipped it a little bit better and putted probably a little better and obviously won more tournaments and had more FedEx Cup points. But when it comes to proximity of the hole from the fairway, that was one category that I kind of snuck in there and got him.
Oh, I love it, man. Let's talk about the duels. The one on Bryson's channel just dropped yesterday. You guys obviously dropped Live Duels Virginia, a drastic improvement from, in my opinion. That's not a shot at Grant's channel. It just really was a drastic improvement, as you read the comments from the second or the first to second iteration. How cool was that? Getting involved with major champions, filming that for your channel. Phil, Bryson, John Rahm, and I know you obviously won with John Rahm. But I mean, just talk to me about the Duels Virginia and just the duels in general, how cool that's been filming that and these iterations continuing to get better and better as Liv listens to the feedback.
Yeah, I mean, just the transformation of YouTube golf. It goes from 6 hole matches filmed with basically iPhones, 3 hole matches, 1 hole matches filmed with iPhones to now the production we're able to put on and filming with literally some of the greatest golfers to ever play the game. All major champions in our video, teaming up with content creators, just average golfers that people like to watch on the internet, and being able to have a blend of the personalities. The going from Grant's in Miami to ours in Virginia, we took the feedback in the comments real serious, and Liv was very willing to let us, hey, y'all run, this is y'all space, y'all own the content, it's going on y'all's platforms, we want it to match what you guys want to put out. And so they gave Carney and Cam basically complete freedom, and George and I to do what we wanted with the second rendition of it. First one was unbelievably successful, and I do think that it was done well. But again, just like everything else, there's growing pains. You learn from what you can do better, and we were able to capture that feel like you were in the group playing golf with us. And honestly, it turned out so much better than we could have ever hoped or imagined. Am I saying that pretty biasly because John and I won? Absolutely, I am. But I feel like that Duels Virginia was some of the best golf content that's ever been put out on the internet. So shout out to Carney and Cam for turning that thing around, and we're really excited to see where the series can go.
No, I agree. I think it was one of the best pieces of content. Like I said, I haven't watched Bryson's yet. I plan on watching it sometime this week. But it really was. I mean, and you could just tell. And it's funny. I messaged your brother like literally 20 minutes into watching the video, and I was like, "Hey, congratulations! Like this is so much better." And as you know, my job part time, whatever this is to talk about, give my thoughts. People somehow care about what I think, and I gave some feedback, and like you could literally tell, like within the first 15 minutes, how well that was received. There was more banter. They gave you guys the creative control and to do your own thing. And it's just crazy. And yes, I get critical of Liv from the professional side, but one thing I've always given them credit for is they do listen to the feedback. They do very much care about what people have to say because they are open to hearing what fans have to say. They are open to feedback, trying to get their product better, unlike what some other tours do, not to name any other specific professional of their golf tour, but they don't do that. So I just think it's a credit to Liv in itself for getting you guys involved, seeing the vision of YouTube golf. Not only that, they're giving. I don't think people realize how big of a deal it was for like you guys to get that type of quality of content on your channel, or Grant to get that on his channel. Like that is just insane to get 5 or 6 major champions like
Right.
released to
Because
new
they could have very easily said, "Hey, we're giving all of this. This is the opportunity for y'all, and it's gonna live on our, no pun intended, live on our platform." But them giving us the ownership of the content, and that was the first step of them saying, "Hey, we really care about what you guys. We see a lot of value in what you guys are doing in the space, and this is our appreciation for what y'all have done in the space and helping move it forward." So yeah, big kudos to those guys, and um, I think that I do think that we're just getting started. I don't know how it's going to play out in the future, but there's probably going to be where you always have to evolve and kind of reform what you're doing. So I don't know what it's going to look like moving forward. I just know that the people that are involved with it right now today are some of the best creative minds, and especially in the content world. So I think it's in good hands.
Shout out Anthony. I know you know Anthony. He watches my stuff, regularly comments on my stuff. Liv, ironically enough, I wish you guys were doing a duels here in Michigan because they are coming to Michigan about 10 minutes away from my house here in August. I am very excited to go to the event, get on site, experience my first Liv event from my fan perspective. I'm excited to see what it's about because, as you know, I'm a PGA Tour fan. I love watching the PGA Tour. It's my preferred tour. Been to plenty of PGA Tour events, the Detroit stop here, which I know where we spoke last year. But I am very excited to see the Michigan event and how that is from a fan perspective. And I mean, you getting Phil, Bryson, John Rahm, all these guys, in a very starved area. I'm huge on Michigan. I'm pretty big on this area. So excited to see them come through here. And like I said, shout out to Anthony. He comments on all my stuff. So Anthony's that dude.
Yeah, he's the best.
Let's talk about another awesome dude, someone who I think has gotten into YouTube golf, one of the greatest of all time, Mr. Phil Mickelson. Let's start with. I've got a few questions, but let's just start with how cool has it been from you to do content with Phil and to see Phil getting involved in YouTube golf?
Um, Ironically enough, Phil and Bryson, when Live became a thing, this was like when rumblings and you hadn't even played a Live event hadn't even been played yet. Those are two guys that I was talking through that whole process because they were really into the media rights and how are you doing what you're doing with the tour, and those are guys that I've had conversations with on the content front for years and years and years. And Phil's been a good resource for me, not only on the content side or helping us with what we got going on right now, but also just like a good sounding board for when I've had my issues in the past. He's I would say he's brilliant, but also delusional, which is a beautiful combination. Uh, he really is one of the smartest. Like like if he doesn't know the answer to a problem or can't come up, like he is going to absolutely go all in and learn as much as possible about it. And he's a great communicator as well, which people don't understand. Like he articulates his thoughts really well, and so I've spent a lot of time talking with him over the years uh, through the content stuff, and so um, now having him as kind of an asset, someone that believes in the space, someone that's willing to drop what he's doing professionally to go and film with guys like me or Grant, and as passionate as he is about it, has been really cool. So he's been one of the guys that I've looked up to game of golf wise for a long, long time. My whole career, I've kind of modeled my short game and my recklessness on attacking golf courses after him. And so now that we get to work professionally together in some form or fashion, it's been really cool. But yeah, he's one of those guys that I think moving forward, he's going to be, when it's all said and done, one of the guys that was very forward thinking and changing the game and how we consume it.
I think I first of all I agree. I think it's funny you mentioned Phil and Bryson. I think they're very simultaneous. I think when we look back on golf history, I think Bryson will be the Phil of our, at least in my generation. I'm 31, kind of growing up, Phil and Tiger. I think Bryson is a lower generation, but I think they're very similar in the fact that they see the game very the same way. And so I think, them getting involved in the content space is not a shock. I think they see, like you said, the vision, and they're getting involved early. How much have you, I guess, maybe leaned on him, and by him I mean Phil, or I guess utilized him for? I know you just talked about it, for support during the whole suspension. How helpful has he been, kind of guiding you through that process of someone who's obviously gone through something similar, moving to live and dealing with the PGA Tour and all the nonsense that comes with that?
Yeah, I mean, he's one. I'm not obviously going to air out any of the stuff that we've talked about in private, but I mean, he is not gone. Like he's obviously sounded off on a lot of things, but there's a lot of stuff that he's holding on to because um, he does understand that when he speaks, it carries a lot of weight, and so. Yes, he's sitting on a whole lot of issues that he knows a lot about that he's not brought out into light, a lot like myself in my situation. There's a lot of issues. There's hundreds of things that could be brought up that we just don't feel is right about how we've been treated. And again, nobody wants to listen to us complain. They tune into our stuff because they want to be entertained and watch us play golf. They don't care what we have to say on certain policies and all that. So um, he's been very, very helpful in shedding some light in some areas that I haven't thought about. And so I'll kind of leave it at that. But Phil is he's been unbelievable to us. He's been unbelievable to Grant in the series that they've started. So shout out to Phil and his team and really just having the vision to move forward in the space that we love.
Yeah, no, he's the best. Phil, if you do see this, I do obviously interview the biggest content creators. And now you're a content creator, you want to come on a podcast, feel free to hit me up. We can link up in Michigan. Uh, anyway, let's talk a little bit about the Internet Invitational. Like, I know that's coming up. We've talked about it. That's somehow been put on the back burner because of all the other stuff in the past week. But talk to me a little bit about that. How excited are you for that? I know that's coming up here in the next month. And can you share any news on the format or anything like that?
I'd love to share break news, but I'll tell you, you know as much as I do about the Internet Invitational. And ironically enough, if I turn this around, I'm sitting. I'm resting my phone on the Internet Invitational. I don't even know if I've actually opened up the. I think that this is the invitation to it. The box has been sitting in my office for like a month or two now, but when Bob came to us with the idea of what they were doing, and because there was obviously rumblings from Portnoy way back year and a half, whenever that was, about wanting to do this, and we're like, there's just no way that he can pull it off. They partner with Bob and those guys, and I was like, man, they're pulling it off. And so when Bob basically came, and he's been that whole Bob Does Sports crew and FP and Joey. Bob been so good to us. We've created some unbelievable content together. When he was like, "Hey, this is what we're doing. We'd love for you guys to be a part of it." I was like, "Bob, you just tell me. Do I need to be there?" He said, "Yes, you need to be there." I said, "All right, we're in." So I've got no clue the format, got no clue the structure, got no clue again, I think we're playing from, I don't know the payout structure. I don't know. I know absolutely nothing. I just know that a lot of people that are very instrumental in YouTube golf and social media golf are going to be there, and we're excited about the opportunity to join up with those guys.
Looking forward to it. I forgot this because you mentioned it in a comment. Fill in your short game series. Is that actually a thing, or were you just trying to
No, I
stir
don't
up the
know.
pot?
I don't know.
Because that would feed families on YouTube.
I feel like if Phil and I were to do that, it would almost need to be pay-per-view. Yeah. Well, you know what? I think we can, this winter, we might try and do it. I feel like it would need to be informative. It would also need to be comedic. And it would, I absolutely, I think, yes. If you want to see it, I think we can pull off a 3 or 4 part series.
Nice.
I think
Well, guys, comment below if you want to see that, because I know I do. How's Selena, man? How's the golf course? I know you guys have just made tremendous strides since opening it last year. How has that been, and how cool has that been, having your own place to play every day?
Yeah, it's like a own personal playground. It's the golf course. We just opened it back up after being closed down for 2 weeks to cultivate and get all the grass right. There's a lot of grass growing. There's a lot of rough out there right now. I was just out there yesterday for the first time in like 3 weeks, and place is playing hard. So actually about to get off this podcast and go film with Busted Jack and Micah. They're in town. So
let's go.
Selena's been awesome. It's been unbelievable, the support that we've seen online from it, as well as in person. I think I think we're doing a good job of changing the landscape of golf in Columbia, South Carolina, and I don't think we're done yet.
Love it, man. Well, I'll let you go. I got 2 last things. Speaking of Selena, there's 2 things that I told myself I'd do, because you did make a thing that we are going to have a match, and I will hold you to that because I have it on camera.
How many shots do I have to give you?
4 aside, my
4
friend.
aside.
100. If I lose $300 to you, that'll be the best $300 I ever lose, and I'll gladly pay it. But I will hold you to that. Maybe we'll link up sometime this fall once your schedule slows. I know you're very busy. But that needs to happen, because I also challenged your brother too. I'm gonna get my ass kicked. So, but regardless, it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm in.
And then my last thing, there's a 2v2. There's a couple folks who want to 2v2 you and George. So I told them I'd try and get a clip out of you. But Sean Walsh, Brad Dahlke, 2 of the best golfers going on YouTube. I know they're in good, but they want to challenge you guys in a 2v2.
Did you just say they're kind of in good?
No, they are in good. They're in good. Do you have anything to say, or a response to them, and a response to their challenge that was issued in the video a couple weeks ago? And
yeah.
How do you think you guys would?
We've texted with them a little bit. Definitely not opposed to it by any stretch of the imagination. Again, we're here. Just let us know dates.
There you go. All right, guys. Wesley, Bryan, man, thank you so much for jumping on, Wes. This is so much fun. I appreciate you for everything you do for me at the content space. Any final messages, plug whatever you want, my friend, and then I will let you go, get to your filming, and get on, be with your daughters, and enjoy the rest of your day today.
I'm offended you didn't ask me one question about George. So we're gonna have to do another podcast. Not one question about George. So shame on you and your journalism for that. I am critical. If y'all guys haven't subscribed to Marco's channel, go ahead and do that. Let's get him to 5K by the end of the year.
Love it, man. Thank you so much. And we'll just have to get you and George on at the same time. You know, I've had J and A on individually, and I got them both on together. So we'll just have to do the same for the Bryan Bros. And gets a ton of questions about George. I definitely wanted to dig in, but obviously there's been so much juicy stuff the last 24 hours. You know, you gotta talk about what the people want to talk about. Anyway, guys, drop me a sub, drop Wes a sub, leave your comments, and enjoy the video. Have a good rest of your day. And Wesley, once again, thank you, man. You're the best, regardless of what you say.
Anytime, brother.